All right, let's talk about something huge, the U.S. federal retirement system. Now, you've probably heard it's generous, right? But you've also probably heard it's incredibly complex. Well, today we're going to untangle all of that. Let's dive right in.
First things first, you got to understand just how massive this thing is. I mean, we're not talking about your average company retirement plan here. This is a system that covers a workforce so big, it's literally bigger than the population of a lot of countries. It's wild when you think about it.
Okay, check out this number, 2.1 million. That's a big number, for sure. But what is it? What does that actually mean?
That's the number of civilian employees working for the U.S. federal government. Think about that. Over 2 million people. Everybody from the person delivering your mail to the scientists at NASA. They're all counting on this one single system for their retirement.
So that's the big question, isn't it? How on earth do all these people navigate a system that's famous for being both super generous, but also, notoriously complex? It's like a maze of benefits and potential traps. Well, that's exactly what we're going to unpack today.
Okay, so before we go any further, a super quick history lesson is in order. There are basically two different eras of federal retirement. You had the old system, called CSRS, for anyone hired before 1984, but pretty much everyone today is under the new system, FERS, and that's what we're going to focus on because it's a whole different ballgame.
So, how does this modern system, FERS, work? What's it built on? Well, the best way to picture it, and you'll hear this a lot, is as a three-legged stool.
And this isn't just a cute metaphor, it's actually really important. Think about it. If one leg on a stool is wobbly or too short, what happens? The whole thing falls over, right? It's the exact same idea here. Your retirement security really depends on all three of these legs being strong and working together.
All right, so what are these three legs? Let's break them down. Leg number one is your basic annuity. That's just a fancy term for a traditional pension. Leg number two is Social Security, which is the same program most workers in the U.S. are part of. And leg number three, and this one's a biggie that you have to be involved in, is the Thrift Savings Plan, better known as the TSP.
Let's double-click on that third leg, the TSP, because this is where you can really make a difference. Check this out. The government just gives you an automatic 1% of your salary. Just gives it to you. On top of that, they'll match what you put in, up to another 4%. So, if you contribute 5% of your own salary, the government puts in 5% too. You're getting a 100% return on your money right out of the gate. It's an absolutely fantastic deal, and you really don't want to miss out on that free money.
But wait, there's more. It's not just about that three-legged stool for your income. The federal system also has this whole web of other benefits, especially insurance. And this is where things can get, well, even more complicated.
Yeah, this benefits package is pretty comprehensive. You've got great health insurance, the FHB, which you can actually carry with you into retirement. That's huge. There's also long-term care insurance. But I want to zoom in on one in particular, FGLI. That's the life insurance program. Why? Because there's a pretty big catch that a lot of people miss.
So FLIGI is the government's group life insurance. And look, on the surface, it seems great. It's easy to sign up for, and a ton of employees just check the box without really thinking about it. But, and this is a big but, there's a twist that really kicks in as you get older.
And here it is, the critical detail. Unlike a lot of life insurance you might buy on your own, the price for FEGLI isn't fixed. The premiums actually jump up every 5 years. And that phrase, very costly in retirement, that's not an exaggeration. It can become so expensive that it's a real financial burden for retirees who weren't expecting it.
Okay, so this kind of brings us to the real heart of the matter. The federal system. It's powerful, it's generous, but it has these gaps, these blind spots that can seriously trip you up if you're not paying attention.
Gap number one, being way too reliant on your TSP. Don't get me wrong, the TSP is awesome, especially with that match. But if that's where all of your personal savings are, then you're totally exposed to the whims of the stock market. And maybe even worse, every single penny you pull out in retirement is going to be taxed.
And that leads right into the second big gap, no tax diversification. Think about it. If your pension is taxable, your Social Security might be taxable, and your TSP withdrawals are definitely taxable, well, you could be in for a nasty surprise from the IRS when you retire. Your tax bill could be way higher than you planned for.
And then there's gap number 3, and this one catches a lot of folks off guard. It's about survivor benefits. If you want your spouse to get part of your pension after you're gone, which most people do, you have to agree to take less money yourself every single month for the rest of your life. It's a permanent pay cut, and that's a really big decision.
Okay, so we've pointed out all these potential problems. Now what?
How do you actually fix them? Well, the great news is you totally can. It just takes some smart planning and a solid strategy to build a truly secure retirement.
It really is like having the right key for a lock. You can't just stumble into a secure retirement. You need a strategy that's specifically designed to fill in those gaps we just talked about.
So, what does a good strategy even look like? Well, for starters, you can build up some tax-free savings using the Roth TSP or a Roth IRA. That helps with the tax problem. You can shop around and see if a private life insurance plan is cheaper than FERS in the long run. Making sure you understand how to keep your health insurance is huge, and you might even look at ways to create more guaranteed income so you're not so worried about the stock market. It's about building layers of protection.
So let's wrap this up. Look, the federal retirement system is an amazing tool. It's a fantastic foundation. But here's the bottom line. A secure retirement isn't just going to happen on its own. It's not automatic. Real security comes from digging into the details, understanding the complexities, and building a plan to navigate them. So the real question you have to ask yourself is this: is your plan built to handle the blind spots?